up on 41. On the southbound side, between Silver Spring and Capitol, northbound's a little bit slow right around the North Avenue curve, and then from Burleigh up to Hampton. We do have a broken down vehicle that's blocking the right lane on westbound 94 at about 35th Street. Folks are getting past it without too much of an issue, but just keep your eye open for that. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, comfortable, a high of 75. Tonight, partly cloudy, increasing clouds later on with a low of 66. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI-HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I want a poll question. Who do you dislike more, Joe Barry or Donald Trump?
No, not going to do that.
Yeah, I didn't think you would.
I've never fixed anybody up.
Ugh, me neither. And I am not about to start with George.
Well, why wouldn't you start with George? You think she's too good for George?
You guys have standards.
We have standards?
Yes, I'll defer to 7-2.5.
You know what your problem is? Your standards are too high.
I went out with you.
Wait, hold on. We can pull that. Homer just said, quote, you guys have standards.
Yeah, you
Is
do.
that true?
That's because my standards are too low.
We have standards on this show?
Yeah, no, you deal with weirdness, but you have standards.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running around, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and
What a freaky fun Friday we have for you today, folks. No Mark Chamorro. We'll have to wait till next week to get the recap on the Jake Owens party, although he did send us a video in the group chat yesterday. What a goof. He did send us a video, so we'll get a recap from him next week. No Gabe Neitzel today. So filling in. How lucky are we, Joshy? You'd prefer not to respond to that, would you?
I thought that was...
Rhetorical?
Yes.
What do you mean? I'm the oldest person you got to fill in for Chewy. It's pretty simple.
I was really just ready to blare the air horn for the
announcement.
Steve the Homer True.
I feel
Steve the
comfortable
Homer
filling
True.
in for Chewy.
Yeah?
I'm not as Chewy as Chewy, but I get a lot of what he does.
Got shades of Chewy.
Yes. Yeah.
What an adjective, by the way. I'm not as chewy as Chewy. Yes, Homer, we are thrilled to have you this morning. We have a very busy day on Friday, as we often do. Craig Karmazin's going to join the show. Jason Wilde's going to join the show. Obviously, no Rechew because we don't have Chew. But I want to start with the story that seems to have taken social media by storm in the last 24 hours. And I wasn't even sure if Homer had seen this video, but I walked in this morning, asked him about it. Sure enough, you saw it. The couple at the Coldplay concert, Homer.
Yes.
Your reaction to this CEO and his colleague, coworker, canoodling. Wow, we have got some alliteration happening this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, don't we? Canoodling at the Coldplay concert.
I'm always surprised when people don't realize that in today's world, everything can be seen or heard. And I would think that they're very easy for other people to have taken pictures on their phone. It wouldn't have gone as big as it did. But, yeah, I was more shocked, the more I've learned, at him. Like, you know, I don't know his fooling around resume, but I think
You assume it's not just this one?
That's my belief that there's a pattern generally. And then you wouldn't react like that. You know, you would say, oh, they were on the screen, so what?
Keep it together, right?
Yes.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Just
it'll
move along.
I'm more fascinated in his fooling around resume, though, given the way he panicked.
So he released a statement yesterday, and I don't have it in front of me, but I did, read it several times. Was it a fake statement?
Yes.
Dang it! I got fooled.
Well, what is fake?
Fake is not released by him. You're talking about the one where what was supposed to be a private moment and of enjoying.
No, no. I saw a different one. Let me look it up. Maybe it was fake. Could have been fake.
There was
There were
also the
multiple
possibility
fakes.
that something was written by somebody else for him.
Sure,
but
sure,
I don't know
sure.
what you mean by fake.
Yeah, well, there was a few on social media of actual statements by the company and by the CEO that were totally made up by like parody accounts.
Oh my God, I love that.
How do
I
you
also
know?
love that it got me.
How do you know what? Because if you search the
right.
company and like all their social media and their press
It's
releases,
not on their
Right.
sites. It's just sort of out there. Okay,
Right.
good to know. So the sentiment was this. Was there anything wrong with the band putting these shots on the screen?
No.
Because that's an argument that people are making is like you should be able to go into a space and you should be entitled to a certain level of privacy and you shouldn't have to worry about being thrown up on the jumbotron or thrown up on the kiss cam or something. And again, this extends to sporting events as well, right? We go down to Fiserv Forum to enjoy a Marquette game or a Bucks game and they do kiss cam and they do flex cam and they do the Lion King baby cam and all of those sorts of things.
Yep.
I just assumed that you sort of signed a contract by purchasing the ticket that you can be a part of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just accepted. It's part of the deal. Up until just what you said, I don't remember any situations where people go, "This is outrageous," and there have certainly been a number of people that have been embarrassed by it. By, like when you're sitting next to your sister, or they want you to kiss. Or something.
Sure.
But so I think that's the discussion that exists in everything now. They can be more negative, and that's fine. But I just think they're wrong.
I can't claim to be an expert on this, but if I were to guess, knowing how litigious the world is and some of these agreements, once you purchase a ticket and enter the gates, then your rights are foregone because you are in public and it is their venue. Not saying you lose all your rights, but to be filmed or to be photographed, that is part of the deal. Because say, let's think of in a sense of like sports photography. If you're in the background of a Giannis Antetokounmpo dunk, you're not then welcome to compensation, nor are you welcome to anonymity.
Yep, right.
You are part of the whole deal there.
I think about when I sign my kids up for camp or sign my kids up for an event, there is always in the fine print, you have to agree to be a part of photography. And if you would prefer not that your children can be photographed at camp, having the time of their life so that they can use it for promotional content and things like that. But if you don't want your children to be photographed, you do have to check a little box down there saying, I would prefer that my children are not photographed and not used for promotional content, et cetera, et cetera.
The argument becomes over there's a limitation to what they can do. And the comment made by the lead singer probably puts them in greater risk than Norm.
But also, to your point, their behavior.
Right,
the
but you don't
ducking down under the table.
Right, but
and
I don't need. I mean, I don't need the head singer to make a judgment on who and what he thinks we are or I am. What he said. Now, was that legit? Right, that wasn't made up either.
That was, and I do think it has since been deleted.
Okay,
because I think the thread you're pulling on there is probably above and beyond what is like expected.
Because I think if the lead singer had gone, whoa, or something like that, that's fine. But dude's fooling around on his wife. You can't go that far, I don't think. But
well,
anyway.
he made an observation, is what he did.
Right.
Okay, he took
Yes,
all
an
the
accurate
clues, all the clues that were presented to him, and he made an observation. We're talking about this thing about being in a public space and then being, making a case for, well, I should be allowed to live, in this space. This reminds me of Aaron Rodgers, like, right, Joshy? Like, there's this idea of. You go to a public place, but then the expectation that you are entitled to a certain level of privacy. Like we have heard that from Aaron Rodgers, Homer.
I was going to say, Homer has been on this one for a while of, if you didn't want people to talk about your marriage or who you were married to, you wouldn't randomly show up with a ring on your finger. That's just, it's simple as that. Like,
No, it's impossible to take him seriously. Now he's on the cover of U.S. Weekly. I didn't know U.S. Weekly existed, but and I don't know that what he agreed to in there. But, yeah, he did. You've talked about this. They did a documentary. It's It's laughable.
It's yes.
But he keeps selling it, so go
Wait,
for it.
Is it U.S. Weekly? I always called it Us Weekly.
Might be Us Weekly.
Is it?
Yeah,
I think it
probably
is us.
Okay, the only U.S. I ever think about is it U.S. World and News Report or U.S. World Report?
I think you're right. I think it's Us Weekly.
Do you remember when we were kids, guys, and you were looking at colleges and your parents would bring home is it U.S. World Report, whatever? There was one magazine that was basically dedicated to ranking the universities.
And they still do.
Pre-internet, this was a big deal, right? Because it was your way of thumbing through and seeing which of the colleges had your programs and which of it was a very big
We
deal.
did not fill that out in our family. My parents had one rule: you're leaving home. You ain't staying anywhere near where we live.
Closing
Go to
time?
any school you want, but get the hell out of
Little
town.
closing time happening
Yes.
at Homer's house.
That's right. Yes, and we all left.
So a lot of people are talking about the CEO and his colleague who showed up on the video board at the Coldplay show. What happens here? What happens now? Are concerts, are acts going to be more cautious about what they're showing on the video boards? Is it going to be a running joke for like several weeks at concerts? Like,
You want to know what's going to happen? I can see it already. We see this at arenas where certain outrageous things get sort of put on there and they're clearly doing a thing. This is going to spread.
oh, it's going to be a bit.
Yes. And because here's the thing, I didn't know Coldplay was on tour.
Really? They're in Madison this weekend.
Didn't know. Not paying much attention to Coldplay, and I can't imagine I'm the only one that thought that. So you see it, and it serves now as an advertisement.
That's a good point.
So if you can create these fake viral moments, even though this one was real.
I would come to it and have a sign: "We are fooling around."
You would bring a poster board that says, fooling around right here.
Yep.
Yeah, and I imagine also, like, if you think of the social media world and the influencer world, people are going to stage this even if the band or whoever isn't part of it.
Well, you think about those videos, and again, we're talking about like the jumbotron and the stuff that they put up there and how viral some of these videos go, and they're clearly a plant. We have talked about that here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy before. So do you think that teams start planting cheaters in the stands just to get a little bit of that viral?
I don't know about teams. I don't know how bad they want that, but I would think artists will certainly do stuff like that on different scales. Like, I mean, Coldplay is really big, so I mean, they're doing stadiums, so that's unique. But they'll do this at arenas and places like that, totally.
So you mentioned Coldplay. Yesterday we were out to lunch, and at our lunch spot, they have added trivia/icebreaker cards at every table, which is kind of cool. So, you sit down and you're like, ooh, let's pop this open. And one of the cards that my kiddos got yesterday was, if you could only listen to 3 acts for the rest of your life, 3 bands, 3. Now, Joshy, I feel like Grateful Dead is going to be on your list. So
favorite music.
go ahead and spoil that surprise. 3 acts for the rest of your life that you could listen to. Can you come up with it?
Can I come up with it? The thing
you
is,
can take your time. You don't have to do it right this
The
second.
thing is, the Grateful Dead is the one I know is there for sure, and likely artists from lacrosse, Bon Iver, would also be part of that. And I feel like that.
Homer, do you know Bon Iver?
No. I don't even know Coldplay, though I've heard of it.
You do know
No,
Coldplay.
I've never heard a song of Coldplay.
That is such a lie. You've heard Coldplay.
If I have, I don't know.
You're
that
saying
it's
you
a
didn't
Coldplay.
know that it was Coldplay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, we're going to play some Coldplay as the show goes on and see if you recognize any of their big hits.
Probably.
They have several big hits over the years. The 3 acts, if you could only listen to 3 bands for the rest of your life, or artists. This is a Coldplay song, Homer.
I've heard this, yeah.
Well, now we just put 2 and 2 together for you. So this is Coldplay.
I won't remember
Click.
it's Coldplay after this show's over, but
Maybe even after this segment. Yeah, very famous song by Coldplay. So give us your 3 musical acts. Homer, you got one off the top of your head?
well, almost all the music I listen to now is Christian. Mercy Me would be it way
Good
above
one.
everything else. But I'm just a bad person to ask. It's like asking me my favorite Spanish verses. I don't speak Spanish. I don't really have. I've never had an interest in music. Young, the first 2 that I was didn't Elton John and Billy Joel, and then Bruce Springsteen is. There's just that's a concert. People told me that can't, and I'm going, it can't be that good. And I'll never forget going like, this is a cult. he could leave and they would sing all his songs. Just, sorry, I got to go do something else. You guys just take over. Keep playing. And then who was the sax player? Clarence Clemens.
Yeah.
I later on took my son to Metallica. That was the closest concert I've ever heard close to Bruce Springsteen in terms of the fanaticism of the fans. But, yeah, I just went, he's not that good. They're just... so that would be my only contribution.
Get us your 3 acts this morning. The 3 acts or bands that you could listen to. If you could only listen to 3 for the rest of your life, there is no other music. You can't hear anything else except these 3 acts. Let us know what they are. I did figure out my 3 yesterday at lunch, so I'll talk about that as the show goes on. But Homer told me a great story about hearing Elton John, being at an Elton John concert. So we will tell that story this morning as well. We have Jason Wilde to talk Green Bay Packers. We have Craig Karmazin. We're going to talk to him about the Milwaukee Bucks and maybe dive into those John Horst comments. Part 2 of Eric Name's conversation with John Horst is now out at The Athletic. If you want to read about that, it's a little more micro. The first one was a little macro, treetops, talking about Giannis, talking about the philosophy of the organization. This is a little more micro, nailing down why they have brought back certain players. So we'll get into that this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy with Homer filling in. Stick around.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are moving along pretty well so far this morning. We do have a little bit of a backup right around the North Avenue curve on northbound 41, a little bit north of Capitol Drive towards Hampton. But otherwise, everything else is looking pretty good. The only thing you want to keep an eye out for is on westbound 94 at 35th Street. We do have a right lane block with a broken down vehicle. Just be extra careful heading through that area as volume starts to pick up. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, comfortable, high of 75 tonight. Partly cloudy, increasing clouds later on, a low of 66. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S. And they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Hey, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Hey, Joe. To what do we owe the honor?
Don't you have CEO-type things you need to be doing? Or Joe might be here because he's been doing some CEO-type things that he thinks we should know about.
Bingo. You guessed it, Monica.
What do you need us to do, Joe?
Well, I'm here because I want to present an idea to you.
Cool. What is it?
I've been talking with finance companies and was able to make a deal for 18-month financing at 0% interest with a $750 or more purchase.
And your idea was to offer 18-month 0% financing to all of our customers?
It's subject to credit approval, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
How long will we be able to do it?
From July 1st to July 31st.
0% will let people buy diamonds that were on their bucket list.
I know what I'm buying. I'm going on a shopping spree. I'm going to have more jewelry than the Queen of England.
So you like the idea?
We don't like it. We love it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong wind and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value ad work so you can focus on what truly matters, growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this year? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com. Also brought to you by Lakeland Supply. Lakeland Supply is in business to make your business better. Set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com.
Well, this should be fun. Homer filling in for Chew and Gabe this morning with me, Jen. And now we have Jason Wilde. Good morning, Jason.
Hello.
I know you didn't sign on for another segment with Homer, did you?
No, but I pushed my segment with him yesterday to today, so I haven't talked to him in a while. So yeah, I'm perfectly happy with this historic pairing.
This historic pairing, my goodness. I don't think anyone else will ever call it that. So, Jason, we have obviously been talking about the Green Bay Packers. We are very much looking forward to training camp getting underway. But NFL.com released its top 25 under 25. And wouldn't you know it, for a team that prides itself on being so stinking young, Packers only have one player on the list, Edgerrin Cooper. What do you make of that? Should they have more? And again, maybe not from a league standpoint, but from a franchise standpoint, if being young is a premier philosophy.
Yeah, what's interesting about this is that, yes, they're definitely still young, but they're not as young as they used to be, right? Like, they've got a lot of guys now that are in year 3 or year 4 of their careers and are still, if we're being honest, have a lot to prove, right? I mean, that's what I think is kind of telling about where this team is. So if you go down their list of guys who are under 25, and 25 is an interesting cutoff line when we're going to judge the Packers and their youth, because if you go through the guys who are exactly 25, and one is a really big one, and that's Xavier McKinney. He's 25. Jaden Reed is 25, so he's not eligible. I'm trying to think of who else is on that list.
Oh, this is excellent perspective, though, Jason.
So I think what LaFleur said during the offseason program is we're still young, but we've got lots of experience. And I think that is one of the reasons why, despite having, as Tausch and I outlined yesterday, a ridiculous number of guys that are in, pivotal, I have something to prove about who I am as an NFL player, whether it's Jordan Love proving he's more than just a good quarterback, but a very good or great or MVP caliber quarterback, or all those wide receivers who've all had their moments of really good football. I would say moments of brilliance, but not sustainably. Their offensive line with 3 guys that are all in the final year of their rookie contracts. Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, 2 first-round picks in 2022, who have had some good moments, but they certainly haven't shown that they are consistent, reliable, top-flight NFL players. And the list goes on. And so there's a lot of guys who are in that, window of 25, 26. Aaron Banks is 27, who they signed in free agency to play left guard. So they're still a largely young team, but because so many of these guys played right away because they had this youth movement, we've seen a lot of them, and they don't feel quite as young, but they still are, and now's the time for them to play at a much higher level than they have.
So how good does a team have to do to play at that higher level? Or what's the dynamic of Goody saying, I messed up, or clearly they have to do, win a couple games, or otherwise the talent is not what he thought it was, right?
Yeah, or this approach is not what he thought it was.
That is not
right.
changing.
I mean,
no,
right, that's my point is that he's married to this approach, and he believes in it. I'll never forget talking to him after the 23 season where they, win their last three after a very bad. What were they? 3-5, 2-5 to start that year, and then they obviously go down to Dallas and just light up Mike McCarthy's team, and then they have the 49ers on the ropes until basically Jordan Love throws a pick on the last pass of the third quarter, and then obviously Anders Carlson misses that critical field goal attempt. And Goody said, I said, does the way this season went make you, an even bigger believer in the value of having young players on your team? And he said, yeah, this is what it's all about. It's you play these guys early and you live with the growing pains and not getting the results you want, so you can then come out on the other side and they're so much better football players by the end of the season. And there's nothing wrong with that logic at all. But at some point, they have to elevate their games. And I know Gabe talks about this all the time on this show. Like, at some point, they need to become, some of them have to become stars. And because those guys, those perennial all-pro, Pro Bowl guys, when you look at the championship teams through history, especially with the Packers in the last two Super Bowl title teams, they had stars all over the place. Now, they had other guys that were just really solid, good football players, but it tends to be the case, unless your quarterback is Hall of Fame caliber, which maybe Jordan Love will turn out to be that, but he has not shown that he will be that to this point. And I know Jordan Love supporters love to compare his stats through his first two seasons to Aaron Rodgers' stats through his first two seasons, and I get that. But Aaron Rodgers was really good in 2009. He was certainly better in year two as a starter than Jordan Love was last year. And I know he had injuries and he had drops and everything else. And then in year three, they went to a Super Bowl and went and won it. Now, did they need help? Did, Deshaun Jackson's punt return keep them alive in the postseason run? Yes, those are all things that did happen. But at the same time, they got to the playoffs and, they went in on the road against the number one seed, and Aaron Rodgers played the best football game I've seen a quarterback play in person. And I covered a lot of really great Brett Favre games and a lot of great Aaron Rodgers games. And so do we think that right now, based on the evidence we have, that if Jordan Love takes the Packers into a matchup with the number one seed in the divisional round, he can put together a performance like Rodgers did? He was really good in Dallas.
No.
I don't think he was as good as Rodgers was, but we don't have the evidence of that yet. That doesn't mean he's not capable of it. But to go back to this list, they have a lot of good guys that are under 26 and under. So they're in that range. So I'm not going to kill Goody for not having more guys on this specific list. What I will keep saying is all those guys and this philosophy about how you build a roster, it all comes down to this season. And if it does not lead to them being, winning the division, playing in the divisional round or in the NFC Championship game, if these guys don't elevate their games, then we have to have a conversation about, do they need to be a little different in their approach? They could still be prevalent in terms of how young they are, but do they also need to start augmenting with guys who've been there, done that, and really had genuine success in the NFL and are more veteran players?
I'm glad you brought up Jordan Love during that conversation, Jason, because it feels like we haven't talked about Jordan Love all that much, other than him obviously getting married this offseason. But there is still a microscope on the quarterback, a magnifying glass, if you will, for him needing to improve. Here is Booger, who was on, I believe, NFL Live this week, talking about the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
forward, because that's where he needs to go, because he's been given his money. They continue to go out and surround him with weapons. They took Matthew Golden from Texas in the first round, who ran 4.29, so a lot of speed. You're going to get Christian Watson back at some point. They got a plethora of wide receivers. So at what point, if you're Jordan Love, can you continue to take that next step? Matt LaFleur, one of the better play callers in the National Football League. So if I were him, I wouldn't be concerned about a step back. How can you continue to take the step forward? Because that's where your pace says you need to be, and that's where the team says you need to be in order for them to take the next step.
What is the Packers' ceiling if Jordan doesn't take that step forward? If he just stays at the level he's been at of what we have seen from him, taking, again, I know it's hard because last year he was injured, so he's dealing with that, and the previous year he obviously had that incredible run. If he doesn't improve, and this is what it is, what is the ceiling for the Packers this year?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Jen. I mean, look, I've used this line before. I hate to recycle it, but I like it so much that I'm going to. Right now, he's a guy that you can win with. He's not the guy that you win because of him. You win with him, not because of him. Now, can he elevate his game to the point that we're seeing games like that Atlanta game that we were just talking about, where the Packers won that game because of him? I know Tramon Williams had a great interception return for a touchdown just before half. That was huge. But the bottom line is that Jordan Love, other than that Dallas game where he obviously was magnificent, we don't have a lot of evidence that he is going to be the quarterback that they win because of, that can put his team on his back, and he's the one who makes them figure out a way to win. Again, that doesn't mean he can't do that. He's only been a starter for 2 years, and we live in such a, sports commentary microwave society where everything, we want our popcorn to be popped in a minute and a half, that we want to know, what is this guy? How good is he? What is his ceiling? And I just don't know. Like, I don't know how to view last season. It's okay to say you don't know. Like, I understand his supporters want to lean on the injuries and on the drops. And my pushback to them is, if you're going to be a great NFL quarterback, you better figure out a way to win and play well, even when you're not 100%. And we criticize Rodgers for a lot of things, and we also got so spoiled by him that in 2022, when he plays with a broken thumb that he suffered in London, how many people talked about, oh, well, he was playing with a broken thumb? It was, what happened to this guy? This guy sucks, right? I mean, no, and his predecessor did it twice, and Brett Favre was an American hero for playing with a broken thumb. So Rodgers played with a separated throwing shoulder in his first season as the starter. He played with that tibial plateau fracture in his knee that he suffered in the opener in 2018. He played with a torn calf down the stretch in 2014 when they lost in Seattle in the NFC title game. Like, injuries are part of the game. And that's another aspect of Jordan's game that he has to figure out a way to still be effective even when he's not 100%. So what is their ceiling if he doesn't elevate his game? Probably around where it's been the last 2 years. Maybe they, are a wild card, win a playoff game, and reach the divisional round. Maybe they don't even do that like they did last year.
Yeah, that's how crucial it is. Last thing for you, Jason, before we let you go. 3 bands or artists or acts you can only listen to 3 for the rest of your life. This was prompted by one of those icebreaker cards at lunch yesterday with my family. Who would they be?
Well, Coldplay.
Obviously. I mean, to be relevant, if for nothing else.
I do actually really enjoy their music.
Are you going? They're playing at Camp Randall.
Yeah, I am not. With training camp, we got a few things with the girls that we're doing before things get a little crazy. But right now, the 3 artist stations that I have in heavy rotation on my SiriusXM app are Pearl Jam, Foo Fighters, and Coldplay.
That's pretty good. Have you seen any of them?
I saw my claim to, this isn't fame, but, I went to UW, and in 1991, this band that I was vaguely familiar with, they had just released their first album, was playing at this dump of a bar called the R&R Station, which was about a half a mile from my apartment. It's basically where the Kohl Center is now. And I couldn't get any of my roommates to go, and it was like on a Thursday night or something. And so I walked and went to the concert by myself. Stood there by myself and listened to this grunge band who had not hit it big yet, and it was Pearl Jam. And if you go to their website, you can find the playlist from that night. It was you feel really cool then when they become as big as they have, and you're like, hey, I was there before they were really that big. So yeah, that's my I'm sort of cool but not really list.
That's great. And Homer's going to share his Elton John story this morning as well, because he told me a really cool similar story about Elton John. You guys know how to pick them. That's what the lesson here is. Jason Wilde, thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Have a great weekend. And thankfully, to your point, training camp is right around the corner.
Indeed it is. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. You can hear him on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every morning here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Lakeland Supply is in the business to make your business better. Set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com. That's lakelandsupply.com. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Roll on right after this. Stick around.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94 and westbound not looking too bad. Volume's definitely picking up, and we do still have that broken down vehicle up on the board at 35th Street that may be blocking lanes of traffic, so just heads up with that. The only other delay that I am seeing right now is on northbound 41 between Capitol Drive and Hampton. Everything else is looking just fine. Traffic is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Extend your outdoor space with a retractable awning or screen like I did with my friends at Comfort Awnings. Custom designed to fit your home. Get your free estimate at comfortawnings.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny skies. Comfortable with a high of 75 tonight, partly cloudy, increasing clouds later on, a low of 66. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Gabe Neitzel here. Let me tell you about something that I love that I did for my golf game. That's joined a club, not just any club, the Wisconsin Country Club. Now, I love it because of the great golf course that we have, and it is in spectacular condition this time of year. But I also love our practice facilities, driving range, couple different short game areas, plus the putting green. But maybe you're looking to join a club for some different reasons. How about no assessments, no food and beverage minimums, just the great golf course I was talking about, plus other amenities like pickleball, tennis, and a pool for the kids? You can always find out more. Just go to the website, thewisconsincountryclub.com. The Wisconsin Country Club, just a fairway away.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards. They're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel. It's a glow-up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
The NFC North Green Bay Packers are returning to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and you're invited. At defensive end number 90, Lucas Hercules Van Ness.
Lucas Van Ness with the sack.
Coming to the all-new Cunis Hope Chevrolet of Milwaukee. Sunday, July 20th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Packer who strikes fear into quarterbacks throughout the NFL. Lucas Van Ness.
Lucas Van Ness bringing the pressure.
During this exclusive 2-hour meet and greet, color action photos of Van Ness will be provided free of charge. Or bring your own item for Lucas to sign.
Pressure, and he's blasted. Ball is out. Still loose on the turf. Packer
Packers have it. Ow!
Welcome to Cunis Hope Chevrolet, your trusted, family-owned and locally operated dealership in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Say hello to the friendly faces and Lucas Van Ness, live at Cunis Hope Chevrolet of Milwaukee, 11100 West Metro Auto Mall Drive, just off I-41. Sunday, July 20th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And he lost it. Packers recover.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. WeatherTech Vintage Weekend is up next July 17th through the 20th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Thanks, Ernie. I'm going to Venmo you that money right after the show.
You can't. You don't know how to use Venmo.
Made my workload much less. But Ernie,
you don't know how to
Ernie,
do it, and I don't know
does
how to
it ever?
it. So
Yeah.
On 94.5 ESPN.
We have enjoyed having Professional Construction Inc. help us with our home projects. As you might know, my husband and I, we can handle a few things. In fact, you'd be really impressed because right now we are actually caulking and sanding and painting my closet. So
you have fixed things.
I fix things.
Yes, you don't. Do you tell people that?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right. Do you,
I'm very
do you know
proud
that?
of
Do
my
you know
ability
that?
to
Do you
fix
know how
things.
well she can fix things?
We've
Like she
discussed.
could have a business fixing stuff. No, you'd have to get better at it, but you have the mentality and the understanding and the ability in that world, right?
Yes, yes.
That's all. Sorry,
And when we can't fix the things, we call our friends over at PCI. Of course, Mike and Michelle operate a family-owned company. They build relationships and do exceptional work on your projects. Go see their work at professionalconstructioninc.com. It's professionalconstructioninc.com. If you missed Jason Wilde just a few moments ago, you can find it on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app. That's where we put all of Jason Wilde's content because we know that you guys love it and we know that you guys eat it up. And, of course, we are all excited about training camp. But he also told us a story about how in 1991, he saw Pearl Jam before they were Pearl Jam, before everybody knew Pearl Jam, at R&R Station in Madison. And he went by himself because he couldn't convince any of his friends to go with him. Homer, you told me a similar story about one Elton John back in the day.
Right. And I think at that time I was 17. I'd gone to one concert. I went to the Fifth Dimension. Don't ask me why. But anyway, and then at a tennis match, a guy had a cassette recorder back then, and he was playing a song. I said, who's that? He goes, well, that's Elton John. I think the song was Tiny Dancer, and I'd never heard of Elton John, didn't know anything, and didn't do anything. And then a couple months later, he's at South Bend and Notre Dame. I think I'll go see. I wonder how good he is. And it came in blue jeans and a T-shirt, and I left going, he's being, knowing nothing about music. I was just in awe of how good he was, and so I think that was his first tour in the United States. He started in Los Angeles and then
made his way to South Bend, Indiana.
Weird. Well, Notre Dame would have concerts on football weekends that were pretty good. Not that I ever went to any of them. But no, it's just, I don't know. It was like watching Dwayne Wade in Alaska. It's like,
sure.
I'm watching the Beatles in Liverpool. This is unbelievable. Everybody should watch him play. So.
And you told me when we were talking about the 3 acts, right? The 3 bands. If you could only listen to 3 bands for the rest of your life, some people have called it the Deserted Island albums. You said Elton John would be on that list?
Oh, yes. I mean, my list is so short. You could have a list of 1,000 I've never heard of, don't know who the songs are. I don't feel qualified to get into this, but then Billy Joel, when I heard Piano Man the first time, that was the first album I ever bought. I pulled off the street in Los Angeles and pulled over to a gas station. I got to find a record store. This guy, Billy, I didn't even know the song I just heard. And then, and so it's weird because I'm the worst person to even talk about it, but those would be it. And then than going to a Bruce Springsteen concert, which was not even to go to hear him. I was going because it can't be this good. It's like when they told me about Michael Jordan. Can't be that good. Well, both were that good. I still, maybe there are other people. And, they talk about what are the other groups? Grateful Dead or who are the craziest fans? But I don't know, do the fans of other groups sing every song, every word of every song?
Yes, I think to an extent. And I think once you reach a certain level, I mean, the Grateful Dead has such an extensive catalog that ranges into the days in terms of amount of music they've made. But the top 10 songs, people will sing every last word.
But I apologize because all my suggestions are 40 years old. I'm like Don Hudson. I don't know who the groups are in the last.
The Grateful Dead fan base is so intense that the same exact song, people can tell you exactly what concert had happened on what day.
Yeah.
Like just the same exact
Jimmy
song.
Buffett?
Yes, I would think that's
a good one. Absolutely. And when you talk about a fan base that is, very well known, the Parrot Heads. So, Joshy, you told us Grateful Dead as one of yours. You said Bon Iver. Did you give us a third, or were you still marinating on it?
I'm still marinated on it.
See, this is the tough one. It's trying to pick that final third band. Lots of reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talk and text line this morning. Nicholas in the 414 says Billy Joel, the Beatles, and Michael Jackson. That's a pretty good little catalog, and you obviously are familiar with Michael Jackson's work.
I want to apologize to Casting Crowns. It's a Christian group, but
they're
seen
very
them
good.
More than any other group in my life. I've probably been to 10 of their concerts. I think my record for someone else is 1.
Okay. Jay in the 262 says Kiss, Journey, and Night Ranger. Again, these are older bands, but also good ones, if you want to talk about the longevity and the legacy of some of these bands. Billy in Sussex says Dave Matthews Band, Eric Church, and Kid Rock. Alan says, so many bands I have listened to, there's no possible way I could choose just 3. Rudy says Steely Dan, which we know is one of Chewy's favorite bands, Dave Matthews Band, and Billy Joel. Nirvana, Tool, and Violent Femmes, that from Jer in Sun Prairie. What I find interesting is a lot of these are older bands. And I think I saw there's been a study done. There have been a lot of studies done, actually, about music and the relationships we make with music. But the music that we listen to in adolescence is often the music that you listen to for the rest of your life. There is something, Homer, about the bond that we make with the music during that phase of our life that then continues. I don't know if it's nostalgia, if it's as simple as that, but that continues throughout every decade of our life. Do you buy that?
Yeah, sure, because I think it's true of your favorite athletes, too.
Okay.
The ones you remember when you were young, the ones that have the greatest.
The ones that you see and are like connected to.
Childish wonderment about sort of the athlete and
I thought you had picked your third band finally, and you were telling us childhood wonderment or childish.
I don't know if I could realistically give an option. I was like, I'm going here and looking at, because Apple will do like your most played artist, and it's so varied by year to year. Like,
but if to me the answer to the question is if there was a concert and you could go, what would be the ones you would want to go to the most?
The thing is, the music I listened to when I was young is not the music I listen to really at all anymore.
Interesting.
Which is,
there's still 3 concerts that you would go to. I mean, you know Peep. Call Craig. I want to go to these 3 concerts. I think he can take care of you. But what would the 3 be?
I mean, the one recently right now is Tyler Childers, who I'm seeing on next Saturday.
Where is he the next Saturday?
Alpine Valley.
All right.
Yes.
East Troy action.
In terms of because the other band I've seen the most is Dave Matthews Band, which just got mentioned, but I rarely ever listen to them anymore. But there was a time in high school where that was the thing we all did with all our friends, and we went to all 2 to 3 nights every single year they were in town.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've probably seen them 20 plus times.
It was a significant commitment.
Yes.
800-990-3776. Get us your 3 acts this morning. Your 3 acts. Again, this prompted by a card yesterday at lunch that said if you could listen to 3 acts / bands / artists for the rest of your life, and only those 3, what would it be? It is tough to nail down that final one, right? Because you could go in a bunch of different directions. I'll give you one of mine. James Taylor. I could listen to James Taylor for the rest of my days. He's got some really good stuff. Now, mellow, but I'm in my mellow phase, okay? I don't need like a I can't handle that right now, okay? I got enough stress and anxiety in my life that just amplifies it, all right? I need chill. I need yacht rock. I need James Taylor. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this. But before we do, guys, I want to tell you about my friends over at the We Sell Group. That's right. You guys know that we have been looking for a lake house. And yes, it is a long process. And yes, it is taking us a while because we are very particular about what we're looking for. But you know what? That doesn't scare off the folks at the We Sell Group at Keller Williams. They understand that it's not always about closing deals. It's about finding the right fit for each and every family. So Rob and Nick have been patient, informative, and available throughout the process. It is so clear that their passion is people. Maybe you're ready to move right now. Maybe you're just starting to look, or maybe you're thinking about selling your home. The We Sell Group is on the journey with you every step of the way. You can start your journey today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Have you heard that Palermo's partnered with Cheez-It to make a Cheez-It frozen pizza? That's right, Cheez-It frozen pizza. It's the unexpected collaboration snack fans didn't know that they needed. It's a 12-inch, ultra-thin, and crispy original Cheez-It flavored crust made with 100% real cheese, paired with your favorite pizza toppings to remind you of the irresistible cheesy flavor you love. And all month long, Cheez-It frozen pizza on sale, just $7.99 at all Pick and Save locations. Grab one, try one today. I can't wait to have it in my freezer. So stop by Pick and Save and grab a brand new Cheez-It frozen pizza from Palermo's.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com.
It's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For me and my family, finding the perfect home is a journey, but we don't walk it alone. With the We Sell Group, Rob and Nick aren't just real estate agents, they're part of our family's team. They bring us options, perspective, and peace of mind. While they navigate the market, I can stay focused on all that life has in store. Because at the We Sell Group, it's not just about the home, it's about the people and the path it takes to get there. The We Sell Group, more than agents, part of your journey. Get started with Rob and Nick at wesell.kw.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Workplace stress is now a leading cause of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce feeling it more than ever. You can't escape work, but you can take small steps to take care of yourself. A walk, some sun, a favorite song, and therapy. Ongoing support to build resilience for whatever your day throws at you. Balance is tough, but getting help shouldn't be. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 231-231. CASH to 231-231. CASH to 231-231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
If it's gotten to the
I
point,
don't think shower.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're not going to take a shower? You just told me you're offended by your own BO.
No, but I think it's deodorant, Gabe. Showering does nothing. It really doesn't.
You are wrong.
Because
you must be showering wrong.
On 94.5 ESPN.
So good. And so long. This is about back then you didn't have songs this long. I guess that's what people told me. I didn't listen to enough to know.
Yeah.
Like 5.5.
Beautiful. It's a gorgeous song. And I noticed that your picks with the Elton John and the Billy Joel, maybe not the Bruce Springsteen, but piano. A lot of piano, right?
Yeah,
Billy
Harry
Joel, heavy
Chapin, that was
piano.
the one I learned about afterwards. Taxi. Taxi is one of the greatest songs. I mean, I like stories, I guess.
Well, I am a huge fan of stories and songs, but my favorite is Jim Croce, Operator.
Yeah.
Great story, right? You're following along on this journey. Oh, it's beautiful. Anyway, now I'm showing my age. Lots of reaction rolling in this morning on your 3 bands, your 3 acts. If you could only listen to 3 acts for the rest of your days, what would they be? Jim and Sheboygan weighing in saying Queen, Beatles, and Prince. Oh, Prince is a good one, man. What a catalog Prince has. That would be something I would also consider as my final submission for my top 3. Queen, Eagles, Springsteen. Showing my age, says Steve in Middleton. Rush, REO Speedwagon, Foreigner, that from Don in Mayville. A lot of these, again, older bands, but really good, solid bands, right? Like the ones that you know the songs because you've heard them for decades. Tom Petty, Counting Crows, AJR, that from AJ in Baltimore.
What band was Neil Peart the drummer? My son.
Rush.
Rush, yeah. He's greatest drummer I ever heard. I still don't know any of their songs.
But you just know that he's
well, I heard a song where he's playing the drums, and I thought this is unbelievable. I would like to put Michael Jackson on my list. I'm not worthy of a list, but I could. He's because I'm old enough to know when he was 2 years old or 4 years old when he was first singing. And I think he was again. I'm not qualified, but I just think he was a musical genius. All the things that he did. I'll defer to somebody else saying that's stupid.
Guys in the YouTube stream are talking about their first concerts as well. Jeff says, I saw Captain and Tennille, Barry Manilow, and Tina Turner. Am I old? You're just seasoned, Jeff. You're not old. You're just seasoned.
You're nice. That's
old. Lee Bryce, and then a few that I'm not familiar with. That from Jason in the 414. I'll have to work my way through that one. Scott weighing in saying honorable mention to the Happy Schnapps combo because the Bears still suck. So apparently, though, that is the artist who wrote that song, who performed that song. Elton John, the Eagles, and Michael Jackson. That from Augie in Fredonia. Keep getting us your top 3 acts. If you could only listen to 3 acts. This is a little inspired by the Coldplay stuff that was shaken around yesterday. The Coldplay story. But again, we went out to lunch yesterday, and there was a icebreaker card at the table that said, if you could only listen. And look, it was fun to hear my kiddos, right? Like I have a 16-year-old.
What did they pick?
So they're very into Benson Boone right now. Right. So he was on all of their lists. Taylor Swift, very popular with the 7-year-old and the 5-year-old girls, right? So if they could only listen to, and then
that's much wider than that. Like Taylor Swift is off the charts for people of all ages, right?
Sure. But again, for my 5 and 7-year-old, I don't know that they know a lot of artists. You know, they know a lot of songs, but Taylor Swift and Benson Boone right now are on their list. And it's cool to just kind of hear their perspective on it as well. Joshy, how's it going picking that third act, picking that third band?
Oh, I was also just thinking about how there was a time where Kanye West would have won this one, Running Away.
Really?
I'm also thinking here like extensiveness of the catalog. Because as part of this, like with the Grateful Dead, I get untold amounts of music. And I don't want to, because there's plenty of bands who I very much enjoy, but have like 2 albums and then they broke up and went away or, you know, whatever happened. But there was not in the past, let's say, 8 years of anything Kanye West and his music is worth it. But those early 4 or 5 albums I didn't listen to anything more than that for a period of my life.
I'll never forget being at a girlfriend's wedding. This must have been 20 years ago now when we were just, out of college. And her little sister, who must have been, again, 8, 9 at the time, singing every word of Gold Digger, okay? Like, she was 8! Now, I ain't saying she's a gold digger. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Craig Karmazin coming in studio with us after this break. Stick around 2 minutes.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound on 41, we got some delays from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing down from before Mayfair Road all the way up to Hampton. A little bit of a backup on westbound 94 between Springdale Road and Highway F, so heads up with that. We've also got some delays heading right through the stadium interchange on eastbound 94. Pretty typical stuff, though. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny skies, comfortable with a high of 75. Tonight, partly cloudy, increasing clouds later on, a low of 66. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow-up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Karmazin.
Gabe, you're right. I actually just looked at the stats. No hypocrite has ever won a championship.
Fridays with Mo.
Mark Attanasio, the last thing he wanted to do was play a video and tribute Craig Counsell in any way. So I give Mark Attanasio a ton of credit.
Craig Karmazin on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is sponsored by Landworks Landscape Services. Their creative and talented team will design, build, enhance, and maintain beautiful landscapes in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more and see their work at landworkswisconsin.com.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, Friday.
Keep getting us your 3 acts this morning. If you could only listen to 3 bands for the rest of your days, what would they be? Helps to have an extensive catalog. We are waiting for Craig Karmazin to pop into the studio, but I want to talk about the Milwaukee Brewers because we have been following very closely what they have done. Obviously, saw the guys perform in the All-Star. Speaking of the All-Star game, Homer, did you like the swing-off? You saw how they ended it, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Put the big
think it should
boppers
be
up
done
there. And
in extra inning games in the regular season.
I love it.
Because it's not a game. It's like a shoot-off or whatever. Whereas the way they're doing it now, it's kind of still baseball, but it's rigged.
Yeah.
No one would say this
it's
is
like
baseball.
a variation of baseball.
Right, and you could do it, you get to hit 1 or 2. You could change the way you do but people love home runs, and I think, again, regular season games don't matter that much, and you've had 9 innings. They clearly want people to stay there for only so long. So, yeah, I thought the whole thing was fantastic.
My initial reaction was that if you implement that into the regular season, it starts to change how you construct a roster. But I don't know what the percentage of games are that are going to extras. It's got to be pretty small. So then I was like, no, you just take your big boppers, you take your DHs, you take your, the guys who you swing for power, and then you go, all right, let's see what you got.
And you could pick different people. I mean, it's, the game's tied. So, I mean, I could see Murphy being the kind of guy who picks his utility infielder. Come on, let's give Bill a chance here. He's the last guy. He's had no home runs all season, but I'm putting him in there.
Well, that doesn't seem like a sound strategy.
It isn't a sound strategy, but my point is you can have over the course of the season, I want to rest these guys.
It doesn't have to be just the same guy
Correct.
over and over
not
again.
Part of the game. There's no game. And that's, to me, people like to watch home runs. It would be cool.
I know there is some hesitancy about the gimmick element of it, but how is it any different than a shootout? And I think about hockey, and I think about soccer, and I think about how you put your best people out there, and it's that pressure
You're not creating a standard. You're copying to some degree.
Yeah, exactly. Joshy, you're in on the swing off?
Yeah, I say why not? I mean, it's already sort of a gimmick with the Ghost Runner stuff on the person on second base. Like
It's not a Ghost Runner. They actually put somebody out there.
But you've already sort of broken that down where you're not playing the game in its true form anymore. So what is a swing off versus the way it's currently constructed?
Craig Karmazin popping in to join us this morning. You need headphones, Craig? Yeah. Pops them on. So we're going to ask Craig about the swing off that they did at the All-Star game, see if he's a fan of that. Craig, were you at the All-Star game?
I was not. I was flying back from Minneapolis.
Okay.
Watching on my flight.
What did you think? Do you like that?
Awesome. It was so cool. It was like amazing. I didn't have the audio, so I had the closed captioning going, and it was insane. I knew Schwarber was going to go crazy. And like you almost could tell who was going to do well and who wasn't just by like their faces and their body language. It was awesome. I was in the building in Milwaukee for the tie. It was the worst thing ever. It sucked.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Back in the day at Miller Park.
It was so. Is this even a question?
No. We're just trying to see if do you think that they should implement it though? Like,
oh, you're saying for like regular games?
Yeah, because again, baseball is this sport that is like steeped in tradition. And
no, it's not.
When Rob
we start guys at second base.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore in our league.
Yes, that's.
I like when people call it our league, like how Hubie Brown does with the NBA.
That's what I was going to say. Is
but it was
you
his
have
league.
seen an evolution in baseball where they recognize they want to maintain and capture a new audience. So they're making games faster. You have the pitch clock. We just did the automated balls and strikes in the All-Star game as well. It's just a matter of time before that is implemented in the regular season. So just add it to the dossier.
Wait, what about how cool would it be if like midway through the fourth inning, you did that in the middle of the game and like the winning team got one run added to their score?
No.
Well, also think it would
That's
be bad
a
for the
bridge
pitcher.
too far.
It would
for
be bad
Homer.
for the pitcher, like a longer break for the pitcher. Like there'd be a lot of negatives, but it was awesome. I think it was great. I don't think we need to expand it.
Craig Karmazin hanging out with us here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It's so nice to have you in studio. What do you think of this pairing, Homer and I? We haven't gotten to work together all that often. But
We did one day.
I remember it.
How many
back
years?
in-
10 years ago? 15?
Oh, it was a long time ago. You guys did a show together back in the
She
day.
clearly doesn't remember it.
Yeah.
I do.
2009, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know if that bodes well for me that Homer remembers the show that we did together.
We're not going there.
And then 10 years later we do it again. That doesn't
Well,
feel
no,
like
I was
an
like
endorsement.
the ninth choice today. It was nowhere.
No, that can't be true.
Gosh, what
eighth.
choice is Homer? Go through the
bottom,
through
the
order.
last.
He is third.
Oh, that's quick.
Yeah.
Wait, who
who's
said
ahead of
no?
him? Who's ahead of him?
I would think Strofe is always the one that's the usual because he is so close.
I've
you
never
could get
done a
in
show
here.
with Strofe.
And then after that is probably Ben.
Okay.
I would guess. And then it's Homer. And then
Well, wait, you don't have a sub sometimes, right? I mean, it's only if
Well, if two
both-
people are out. Yeah,
right.
two people
correct.
are out.
Yeah.
Although I think Joshy and I could have held it down this morning, but it is a
There's
pleasure
no
to have
like
Homer
Eric
in
Name.
I would agree with that.
Eric Name's not ahead of Homer.
I don't know if Eric Name wants to be getting up that early if he doesn't.
Do you think there is a chance that when you're asking people, you're saying, hey, we need to fill in on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, that the person says, who's out? And then you say, Chewy's out. Who else is out? Gabe is out. And they're like, so it's Jen? And you're like, yes. And they're like, I'm sick. Do you think there's a chance that that's
Now,
happening?
that actually is a good question. Who do you think is the most desirable person to do the show with if they're out? Like, is it Gabe? Because he's just like, Gabe could do everything. So, like, you could just show up and not worry about anything. Is it Jen? Because she brings, like, you know, the energy and the, like.
No,
and
they're
the-
both
the
fine.
wit?
Chewy's the mess. He can't do anything.
Right. Like, if Chewy's alone, you know you're doing
you
some
can't
heavy
do a
lifting.
show.
Well,
Yeah,
you know
of
you're going to do
course.
the heavy lifting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate the transparency here, guys, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
There are times where I'm like, oh, it's me and Chew. Cool.
It's a full-time job.
Joshy, warm up. Right? I want to talk to you about the Milwaukee Bucks because there was a great conversation that Eric Name had with John Horst. John Horst doing sort of a macro level of the franchise. And then, of course, today there is the second part of the conversation where they go a little more micro. They sort of focus on specific guys. But the thing that caught our attention yesterday was John Horst's reaction to the question about, have you done enough? And we didn't think yesterday that it was a ringing endorsement for confidence that Giannis is happy with where the organization is, that he loves all the moves that have been made. And I will use this as the prism, okay? Chewy said he came into yesterday 99% sure that Giannis was going to be back in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform this year. After reading John Horst's reaction, it dropped to 80, which is still very high, but it did give him some pause. Is that fair for Chewy's number to change in that way?
Again, all we can judge are by the actions. So that's what I've been saying for 10 years now. And the actions have been consistent by Giannis. So to live and die with all this stuff, I don't think makes sense, because Giannis can make a decision whenever Giannis wants to make a decision. And whatever we think our percentages are in any moment, the only thing you could look at are his actions, which have been really consistent over a decade. I look at Dame Lillard going back to Portland, yesterday as another thing where Giannis is like, I have always wanted to be in Milwaukee. And the idea that Dame, who had the opportunity now, another free spin after having left the team where he had been his whole career, the fact that Dame chose to go back to Portland, I just think it's another thing that points to Giannis seeing that his love of Milwaukee, is validated by another one of those top 75 type stars.
Yeah, without it, I mean, no one thought it would be done again, and Lillard did it. So yeah, there's no question. I thought the only thing I would say to you, the dynamics of everything has changed. Giannis has been consistent, but the world is different in terms of it's more and more difficult to keep a player where Giannis is now in his situation, especially with what the Bucks had as a roster. But the fact that he's staying, and I think it is 99%, speaks to Giannis as much as anything. But it's not this 10 years of Giannis could leave that may have existed, but the environment in which it was more likely to occur has definitely changed.
Yeah, and I think
But not Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis hasn't changed. Giannis has always said he wants to compete for championships. The organization has always said that we want to compete for championships. So none of it's changed. And the Bucks have continued to do what other people around the league think are irresponsible things to try to win championships, starting with the Drew Holiday trade, which was laughed at by certain people around the league, that you can't go that all in. That's so crazy. Giannis, a few months later, signs an extension. The Bucks win a championship. Everyone knew that Dame Lillard was going to Miami. The Blazers never even really talked to Miami. The Bucks come in, make this offer, stunning everyone, including Giannis. Giannis was as stunned by anyone by the Dame Lillard trade. And Giannis ends up signing an extension, and the Bucks continue to do it again this offseason with the Dame Lillard stretch and release, the Miles Turner signing.
That was 10 times more amazing than anything they did before that.
Yeah. I mean, it came from nobody saw that coming, right? You could listen to 100 podcasts about what are the potential scenario the Bucks were going to do in this offseason.
The largest waiver was $30 million in the history of the league. They go at 113, and I want to mention, maybe you said it and others who said this will change, and they were right, because it's already happened again with Beal. And that's at 98. But then it was $30 million in the history of the league, and the Bucks were willing to take 113. No one brought it up because no one thought any team would spend that kind of money.
Yeah, and how about Dame Lillard now getting a contract that's guaranteeing him an extra $28 million over the next 2 years?
Luckiest man in the world.
Plus, by the way, he got a no-trade clause, which he and LeBron are the only two in the entire NBA with a no-trade clause right now. And he has a player option on a third year with the Blazers. So we know how tough it was to be away from his kids and his family and everything he went through. So now he's in total control if he wants another 3 years back home in Portland.
In total control, as he's out a year suffering from an Achilles tear.
So he could rehab at home.
Right. Yeah. They're buying a used car that has no tires.
Yeah, it worked out really well for Dame Lillard. Craig, what is the move that the Bucks made this offseason that excites you the most? Is it as simple as the Turner acquisition, or is it some of the smaller things that you think are really going to round out this roster?
So it's the Turner thing, because without that, if it was Bobby, Jericho Sims, and Giannis, I just thought that would put too much pressure on Giannis. I thought it could be a good group of three. Now, as John Horst mentioned in The Athletic, that group of four, you could put it up against anybody now. Right? Which team has four big men that you want to put up that has the versatility? Jericho Sims can play defense and switch out. Giannis so good defensively. Miles Turner, both a rim runner, a three-point shooter, and all that. We know what Bobby Portis is. So that, so exciting. But the Gary Trent Jr. thing, I'm stunned still by this.
Thought he was gone.
I can't believe he's back, and back at the salary level he's back at. That guy showed to me that he's a true starter in this league. That guy isn't just, we watched, he's not just a pure three-point shooter. He scores off the dribble. He really competes on the defensive end. To put A.J. Green and Gary Trent outside of Giannis, and then you put Miles Turner, I get it. I get why people see the Knicks, Cavs, and Magic as clearly the top three. But you get into the postseason, there's no team that I don't give the Bucks a really good chance to beat in the postseason.
All right, let's talk about the Milwaukee Brewers, because we were looking at the odds over at our Potawatomi Sportsbook, our pals over there, and it wasn't that long ago. I think, what did we say, Joshy? A week, maybe a week and a half?
This was directly following the series win against the Dodgers.
Okay, before they beat the Nationals, before they swept the Nationals. And the Brewers' odds to win the World Series were plus 4,000. And Chewy, who never bets, who actually ridicules us for betting, calls us degenerates pretty regularly. I believe his line is, she has a problem, said he was going to put some money on the Brewers to win the World Series at plus 4,000. Today, as they enter the series against the Dodgers, they are plus 2,500 to win the World Series. If you're curious about the National League, I believe it was 2,500 to win the National League.
And 2,500 means it's 25-1. So it's a 4% chance, basically, is what they're saying.
So if you put $100 down, that's paying you $2,500. So now the odds to win the National League for the Milwaukee Brewers are plus 1,300.
Well, I think those are crazy to think about. The odds I look at are the odds to make the playoffs and the odds to win the division.
Which I've been on the division one. I told you I got that one at the beginning of the season when I knew that it was going to be a race between them and the Chicago Cubs.
I have them at to win the division.
Is this currently, or you've got a ticket?
I have a ticket at plus 300. And I bet that on April 7th.
I think I have plus 450 for those to win the division.
Yeah, so you waited a little when they were behind even more.
Yes.
They were back. And then I have them to make the playoffs, which I did on April 7th, at plus 180. That ended up being like plus 400 at one point. Now it's minus 330. So the thing is, right now it's like 80% that the Brewers are going to make the playoffs, which, Homer, you've lived here longer than any of us. The idea, and I know it used to be a lot harder to make the playoffs, right? AL and NL division
and they added
winners,
the extra wild
card.
The
idea that this team is going to make the playoffs again, 80%. We talked about it, to be honest. That's insane. I was pointing to it with my daughter on Sunday.
They have a great general manager.
But their great general manager left.
No.
And now they have a great general manager.
They have a great general manager now. And everybody should know that when Stearns was here, he hired Arnold. When you hire someone in your first job, you hire people that you worked with.
Yep.
He hired somebody he competed against and was clearly impressed with his ability. We are all thanking David Stearns today, not only for what he did, but who he hired.
And now, again, Matt Arnold, who has continued it.
Do you know about Homer's Jackson Chourio take?
I've heard.
Hasn't changed.
I've heard about it.
No. Stands the same. For him to be a superstar, it's not about him a good player. He cannot be a superstar unless he draws more walks. In the history of baseball, one superstar, Roberto Clemente, that's it.
Wait, but you're saying your take hasn't changed. You're saying trade him?
No, I said.
I heard you on TikTok. I heard you on TikTok saying trade him.
Well,
my
hold
algorithm.
On. Fine, I didn't say. I said if
what
he
a
does
sentence,
not,
by the way.
If he does not improve this issue, The Brewers, who I have total faith in, need to consider finding another young star as an alternative. He cannot be a superstar the way in his limit of drawing walks. He's better at it now. He's improved it. But it is the issue that will prevent him from being a superstar.
So his chase rate, he swings and misses too
I
many
don't
bad
look at the
pitches.
chase rate. It's percentage of walks.
So 2 walks in the month of April.
Right.
And then 7 in May and 7 in June.
Yes.
Are we okay with 7?
He's getting better.
But we're still trading him with 7
No,
walks?
we're
He's
no,
20
we're not
years
trading
old.
him. You do not have to look at trading him. But
Jen.
look at the year. The key will be the number at the end of the year. He's still very low.
Joshy, you ever Brewers had a like Homer's allowed to walk these halls Jackson Chury's on
I
such a
didn't say
team-friendly
you
deal.
again.
On TikTok, you said it. Are you saying the Chinese manipulated your?
If the Brewers, as talented they are, have another young superstar or somebody they like in the game, yes, they should trade Chourio for him.
And do like a Juan Soto, where you get 4 All-Stars.
No,
for
it's
him?
like somebody else they like because there's a potential that young guy can be a superstar. At the rate he was drawing walks, you cannot.
Superstars? You're allowed to have 2.
Well,
I can't believe that you're entertaining this, Craig. I can't believe
I'm entertaining it because
I saw this on TikTok.
fine, people
Homer
need
was
to
on TikTok
realize
saying this.
people won't bring up anything about it. They need to realize this more than anything else is what you watch with Jackson Chourio as a hitter.
when you say people won't bring anything up about him, I think that goes back to, again, recognizing the model that the Brewers exist in and how they have to do things differently and they have to lock guys up like Jackson Chourio when they lock him up.
If you said, Homer, he'll be fine, just trust Matt Arnold. That's a legitimate answer. But there's one concern about Jackson Chourio, and that is it.
And his on-base percentage is below 300
And
this
it's
year.
all low because of, his batting average is not high enough,
Yeah.
but it's always low because of how few walks he gets. There's a limit to how few you can get before you have to say, this is a concern. Not that he'll be a good player. He's going to be a good player, maybe even a very good player. But the chance to be a superstar as he shows other abilities cannot occur unless he gets better at drawing walks.
Right. And I'm just saying he's 21. So let's
I understand he's 21.
So let's just give him a little chance here.
So what Josh and I were talking about this morning is that we talked about those numbers for the NL and we talked about the World Series. If they go out there and they sweep the Dodgers again, and I know that's a tall task because they're going to be in LA, but if you go out there and you win the series, let's bring it back a little. Let's dial it back a notch. Okay, they win the series against the Dodgers, man. You're not a hidden team anymore. Like, you won 7 straight headed into the All-Star break. You're a team that people are now going to be going, whoo, this Milwaukee Brewers team, is that a tougher spot to be in? Because to your point, that slow start for the Milwaukee Brewers allowed them to sort of exist below the radar. There's been a lot of attention on the Cubs.
Last year they played from ahead the whole year.
And that's what we read all the time, honestly, if we're talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. When people are doing predictions and people are talking about the league, they're saying they do this every year. Yeah. Why are we surprised when the Milwaukee Brewers sort of hang in the shadows, hang in the bushes, and then all of a sudden go, ha-ha, surprise, we're here again in the postseason? Like, I just feel like this is going to be a really exciting, really dynamic second half to the season. And I think the baseball world is onto them now.
Yeah. Oh, and I think last year was, and, I obviously, it was just like a blown save, right? Like, how different could things have been had they advanced and defeated the Mets? Like, we'll never know what that would be. And that's the craziness of baseball. But yeah, I mean, they're within 2 games of the Dodgers for the best record in the National League. I mean, I even think if they get 1 of 3 games in LA, they'll have won the season series against the Dodgers. So they could end up, that could be the tiebreaker that gives them, the first place overall seed.
I don't care if they get swept. Doesn't matter.
You wouldn't want them to have that tiebreaker against the Dodgers?
They're never going to be as good as the Dodgers in the playoffs.
No, I know, but that would give them, home field advantage. You feel like home field advantage showed last year, it doesn't matter?
No, if you have a healthy Peralta, a healthy Woody, and a healthy Miz, they can win the World Series.
Yeah. I haven't really thought about it that way, but you're right.
The key is those 3, and pitchers are,
But they got to hit. They got to hit. And I know they have been
They'll
hitting.
add a bat or something. But
that's where I start to get a little nervous.
No, of a concern much greater than that is the health of Woody, Miz, and Peralta, because pitchers get hurt, not everybody, and Woody's coming back from an injury. But if they're at the level they're pitching now, they can win the World Series.
Yeah, I fair. As long as
I don't
they
know if I've
trade
ever
Jackson
said
Chourio.
that before. There was probably a year where they were pretty good, but I
Yeah.
don't know that they've ever had this possible quality of pitching. And then you have Miz. How many innings they're going to pitch? There are factors, but just keep them healthy and play anybody.
And don't trade Jackson.
Well, and I think to your point, and I think this is important, there's two things that you said that I want to touch on. One, I'm not of the belief that you just want to drop series. I understand that you can sit here and make the argument. Gabe said it to us when we were in June, how the Cubs series couldn't be a big series because it happened to take place in June. I don't buy that. If
He was
you
wrong.
Think you're
that Cubs series changed the whole season around.
Correct. And I also think that if you are a World Series contender, you're not okay dropping series. You're not okay getting swept in series because, again, it sort of feels like an indictment of
but
the bigger
the
picture.
Braves win the World Series a few years ago, and they kind of sucked throughout most of the season.
They did. They got really hot at the end of the year.
I also have enough faith in the manager that he'll keep track of when there are issues. So
so that's what I was just going to say is I want Brewers fans to temper their expectations for Jacob Misiorowski in this way. Let's say this guy has a no-hitter going, because he's going to. There's going to be a game over the next few weeks where he's got a no-hitter going.
They're going to pull him.
Yes, and you need to be okay with that, because the big picture is what Homer just said. Health for the playoffs, health for a World Series run. That's my only suggestion, encouragement, piece of advice for Brewers fans right now. Because excitement for Misiorowski right now is at an all-time high. He's coming off the All-Star performance. He performed so well. He's a young, likable kid. You're going to see the manager have to manage him for the long haul, and I want Brewers fans to be okay with that.
Yeah, and I know we're only allowed to talk Packers here, so once it gets to be August...
Haven't even mentioned Packers
I know.
here.
Once it gets to be August, we'll forget the Brewers exist. But Craig Counsell, Pat Murphy, the two candidates for manager of the year right now in the NL, Brewers,
the
Cubs,
reigning manager of the year in the NL.
Yeah,
Thank
Brewers,
you very much.
Cubs coming down the stretch. This could be one of the best pennant races, vibes that we've had in Milwaukee baseball.
And we're going to continue to remind people to pack the place.
Yeah.
Don't let the Cubs fans come up and take
Totally.
the seats at AmFam Field. Craig, thanks for hanging out with us this morning. An animated conversation.
I saw it on TikTok.
The fact that it was
You
a
did? Yeah.
Homer take that you saw on TikTok. There's so much irony in there. Simplify your everyday banking with Great Midwest Bank, just like I did. Open up a checkings or savings account today. Experience friendly, simply local service plus competitive rates. The best of both worlds. Great Midwest Bank even offers 24/7 online banking mobilely. Whether it's noon on a Tuesday or Saturday night at 11 o'clock, you can access your accounts. And when you need assistance, there are real people helping your real needs. Great Midwest Bank is simply local and a member FDIC. Thanks, Greg.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
A little bit of a backup. Northbound 41 backing up from just before Mayfair Road all the way up to Hampton. Southbound slowing down from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. We've got southbound 43 looking pretty good. The northbound side's just tightening up right past Hampton. Everything else seems to be rolling along just fine. Lake Lawn Resort offers everything you need, from lakeside rooms to gourmet dining and a luxurious spa. Relax, recharge, and enjoy the best of Delavan. Book your stay now at lakelawnresort.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, comfortable, a high of 75. Tonight, partly cloudy, increasing clouds later on, a low of 66. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue for any guy. It's Gabe Knight, so let me tell you about our friends at Mentality and how they've helped me deal with my low testosterone, because I didn't realize I was dealing with low testosterone. Tired, groggy, didn't feel like myself. Thought it was because you're getting older, it's just the way it is. But that's not the way it has to be. All those symptoms I had, signs of low testosterone. So go to lowtusa.com. Book an appointment if you're experiencing those same things. You got to find out if it is indeed low testosterone. You go through the process with Mentality, and at the end, if your testosterone levels are low, they will come up with a customized testosterone treatment plan just for you. It's worked for me, and it will work for you as well. So go to their website, lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. So find out more about Mentality's low testosterone treatments and see if it can help you the way it helped me at lowtusa.com.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Evan Cohen here. Typically, you don't associate speed with quality. For example, you don't go through a fast food drive-thru and expect a gourmet meal to go. Well, here's an exception. If you're hiring, you can find candidates fast who are also extremely qualified for your job. Just use ZipRecruiter. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can proactively find qualified candidates in minutes. No wonder why ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You are listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Any of those things, because it's like, I'm sorry, I'm burping up my apple right there. That's what that was. I wasn't pausing for effect. I literally was burping
All right, can we just go to break?
No. On 94.5 ESPN.
Great to have Craig Karmazin in studio with us for that stretch. If you're looking for a spot to hang this weekend, might I suggest my friends over at St. Kate the Arts Hotel revel in the fusion and artistry and flavor with sushi at St. Kate. It's offering guests an elevated experience, freshness and creativity. They are prioritized there. The exciting new sushi menu will help you indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate. Learn more at stkatearts.com. Homer, when is the last time you were this excited about the Milwaukee Brewers? You were this excited about what they could accomplish?
There's been a time, I have to go back and look. I can't remember the year where you felt like they were as good as any team.
I mean, was it all the way back in 2008, 2011?
I just can't remember. But as far as pitching, I don't ever remember the ability to think you have literally three aces or three top guys.
Was that because Freddie wasn't there yet when it was Corbin and Woodruff and Freddie?
I think so. But it's because of that. And they clearly have a bullpen. They have a closer, but,
All-Star.
If your pitching is that good, then you can play with anybody. There's no way they can create an offense as good as the Dodgers, but I still think that they'll add a bat just to be better. But I would suspect they'll wait as long as they can to make sure their pitching is still where it is now. I mean, Woody's not a guarantee. Miz isn't a guarantee in terms of how many innings can he pitch, how do you want to use that, because you're concerned on his career versus 1 year. And if things fit, then they'll just want to make the team a little bit better. And they're scoring a lot of runs, but as far as being, I don't know, 6th, 8th, whatever, but anybody who watches them knows they're just not that good an offensive team, but they steal bases. I mean, they play kind of an old-fashioned way to figure out a way to score runs. But the excellence of the top of the pitching, I can't ever think it's ever been like this.
And to your point about the hitting, I think I saw a graphic in the last few days that said that it might be since June 1. Don't quote me on that. But basically, they have the best run differential in the National League over the last either 6 weeks or 8 weeks or something along those lines. Either way, it is something that they can hang their hat on. It is a feather in their cap. My concern about waiting a while, because I agree with you, they're going to wait and see and make sure there's health before they decide if they are going to buy at the deadline, is Jeff Passan told Wilde and Tausch, there's not a lot of options out there, right? We've run through them on this show. What do you got, Joshy? Like 5? Like 4 maybe? And we talked about how the Red Sox sort of pulled themselves out of that space because they won 10 in a row headed into the All-Star break, and all of a sudden they are not sellers anymore. So there's like, right, Josh? Am I wrong on that number, 4 or 5?
No, and the only thing is just to monitor who sort of comes out hot, who comes out cold from the All-Star break and lead up to the trade deadline, because it's really hard to tell which teams are sellers or buyers until they're pushed to that point. But I think Matt Arnold is going to probably talk to anyone possible and see what sort of deals make sense. The one everyone keeps pointing at is Eugenio Suarez. But I think they want to add power at some level on that team.
And again, the biggest story, the most amazing story of the Brewers is Andrew Vaughn. Everybody should realize, and they should get their Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, and Andrew Vaughn. Excuse me? No laughs, please. All 3 were the 3rd pick in the baseball draft.
Right. And again, listen, you're preaching to the choir on some level here. I think putting them in him in the category of Robin Yount and Paul Molitor.
I just said
their
resume all has that.
exaggerant. Yes.
Well, no, I think there are 2 points to that. One, those who follow the White Sox just laugh and they go,
of course he starts.
He's no good.
Yes.
And enjoy him while you can.
And I heard that
it isn't going to
when the trade was made. I heard that over and over again.
But if you look, he just wasn't that bad his first couple of years. He wasn't great, but he was better than average. Why they bailed on him so quickly, that's what I want to know, because they didn't really get that much of a pitcher. But he was a better athlete at Cal than Aaron Rodgers.
Huh.
This guy was the baseball player of the year, college player of the year. I don't believe Aaron Rodgers won a Heisman. That's how good he was.
That's wild. I was not aware of that portion of his resume. I love that you're bringing that to us. And I said when he joined the team, and I know that everybody says they need power, they need power, they need power. But I said he could be that bat in the lineup that all of a sudden you're getting production from a spot you didn't think you'd get production from. And he has been clutch every opportunity he has been given since he joined the Brewers.
I wouldn't bet on it, but it would be more amazing than anything else that has occurred to be that bad that they bailed on him. I mean, I would guess in the White Sox, they called him Tony Mandrich.
I'm guessing they didn't call him Tony, but I get your metaphor.
That's what he was.
Don't you believe in change of scenery, though? Don't you believe that, like, going to a new place where you get a fresh start, you don't have to you don't have to try to fight the narrative?
No. I have a phrase: no donkey ever won the Kentucky Derby. Okay, you can change scenery all you want. The issue is, how good can you be if you can be that bad for that stretch? He was hitting like a pitcher, but yes, if ever a change of scenery would make sense, this would be one, because the White Sox is it possible that he lost interest because they were just so pathetic? I don't know him, but yeah, it's a reasonable position that we should all hope for.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's toxic soil, right?
Could be.
You got a flower, and
it was definitely toxic soil. Yeah. There's no argument about that.
Take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But before we do, guys, I want to tell you about my friends over at BetterHelp. This is an ad by BetterHelp. Workplace stress is now one of the top causes of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal levels of stress. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're listening to this going, yeah, I feel like I have higher than normal levels of stress. So you take a holiday, you take a vacation, that's great and it works in the short term. But for long-term solutions, Therapy is always an answer. I have certainly benefited from therapy. I've been doing it for, I think I figured out the other day, 12 years, at least 12 years of therapy, and it has helped me to navigate the challenges in my life. With BetterHelp, it's very convenient. You can join a session with a click of a button, and it will help you fit it into your busy life. And let's say you're not hitting it off with the therapist that you have, you can always switch therapists at any time. It's the largest online therapy provider in the world. And guys, it has a 4.9 rating out of 5 based on 7 million client reviews on the App Store. Our listeners get 10% off, so go right now. BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout, because we are all better with help.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
A little bit of a backup. Northbound 41 backing up from just before Mayfair Road all the way up to Hampton. Southbound slowing down from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. We've got southbound 43 looking pretty good. The northbound side's just tightening up right past Hampton. Everything else seems to be rolling along just fine. Lake Lawn Resort offers everything you need, from lakeside rooms to gourmet dining and a luxurious spa. Relax, recharge, and enjoy the best of Delavan. Book your stay now at lakelawnresort.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, comfortable, a high of 75. Tonight, partly cloudy, increasing clouds later on, a low of 66. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Gabe Neitzel here to tell you about our friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. Pella Experience Center lets you see, feel, open, close, compare dozens of window and door options from 7 different Pella lines side by side. It's unbelievable what you can do at the Pella Experience Center, and they've got great options. Not just those customizable options, but great options for every budget as well. Stop by soon, because if you order before July 31st, you get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Certain restrictions do apply. So visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield, like I have for my brand new door coming in next month, or schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. And when you go to Pella, make sure you tell them that Gabe Neitzel sent you.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while. Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get. Could be lower testosterone. Lower T? Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me. I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real? Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean. And it's made a difference for you? Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves? Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You can just save yourself so much time by going, okay, we like this guy, this guy, this guy. Let's take a look at all the different things he did at the combine. I just hit my phone, and now my hand is just tingling.
No,
What's
your
with
hand
you
is
today?
no.
Jesus. Do you know how to function? I just like...
On 94.5 ESPN.
How sweet it is to be loved by
Joshy queuing up a little James Taylor for us this morning as we continue to ask you about your 3 acts, your 3 bands, your 3 artists. If you could only listen to 3 for the rest of your days, no other music. You walk into the grocery store, boom, it's one of your 3. You're in the car, boom, it's one of your 3. All of your commercials on the television, only those 3 artists. You don't even get a smattering of other music anywhere, a sampling. Let's see, Jason weighing in saying Tom Petty, Fish, and Grateful Dead with honorable mention to Rage Against the Machine. I appreciate the honorable mention, Jason in the 920. You can't do honorable mentions. You can't. You got to limit it to 3. Our guy Joshy is still wrangling over it, wrestling with it back there, aren't you? You still haven't picked your 3rd act.
I think I'm just going Kanye West, and I'm going to pretend the last 3
problematic.
Well, yeah, that too. All the things he said, I don't care for. Or care about, or the last 3 albums he's made. But all the ones before that, I think are still, and that does go more towards my youthful, like the thing that stuck with me all throughout high school and everything.
Danny from Atlanta weighing in saying Taylor Swift, Fleetwood Mac, Billy Joel, I'm all over the place. Danny, I appreciate the Fleetwood Mac suggestion because that is one of my 3. I had not revealed my full list yet. James Taylor 1. Fleetwood Mac for me is number 2. What a catalog. I mean, just think of all of their songs, and now am I hearing that maybe Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckley are going to reunite? They're going to maybe, I'm hearing this. This is the rumor out there that they may do a tour together.
Buckingham?
Buckingham it is. Thank you so much. As soon as I said it, I was
hate
like,
to
that's
be
not right.
right about
That's
anything
not
with
right.
music,
As soon as I said it. It really
Not
is.
bad.
Thank you for correcting me.
Jeff Buckley's
Just so you know. Yes, that's what I was doing. I was taking Jeff Buckley and Lindsey Buckingham and smacking them together like I sometimes do. Iron Maiden from Dave and Aaron. I'm familiar with Iron Maiden, but that is the first Iron Maiden mention we have had this morning. Brandon is a bit of a country guy. He says Toby Keith, Jason Aldean, and Craig Morgan. Have I ever told you my Toby Keith story, Homer?
No. Let's go.
Okay, so Toby Keith, I'm at Oklahoma last year doing a feature with Danny Stutzman. I've told you this, right, Joshy? You've heard this one?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
think so.
All right, so hang out here. I'm doing a feature with Danny Stutzman, their stud linebacker. And this is the first year, last year, that Oklahoma is implementing playing a Toby Keith song. Much like the Badgers played Jump Around between the 3rd and 4th quarter, Oklahoma is now going to play a Toby Keith song. Oklahoma native, recently passed away, and they decide they're going to play courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. You're familiar with that song?
Kind of.
Brought to you courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.
Yeah, I think I'm sure I've heard it and don't know who did it. And
it was sort of after a 9/11. It was an American anthem, right?
Yeah.
Well, and it's a great song, but it is not Toby Keith's best song. Toby Keith's best song, most well-known song is Should Have Been a Cowboy. Okay, you're not familiar with that one either?
I probably am. I think I've
Joshy,
heard
you
it,
know
yes.
Should Have Been a Cowboy?
Sure do.
Okay, Should Have Been a Cowboy, Learn to Rope and Ride, all of that stuff. So I say to the sports information director, I said, why didn't you guys pick Should Have Been a Cowboy? That's obviously Toby Keith's #1 song. He says, sure, but Oklahoma State are the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And we can't have an arena full of Sooners singing Should Have Been a Cowboy. That's bad for business. I said, you got me there. You got me there. That's an excellent point by the sports information. Clearly, they had that conversation and worked their way through it and thought, that's bad for recruiting. It's bad for recruiting to have the entire arena singing "Should Have Gone to the Other In-State College." 800-990-3776. Rex in the 262 says Bob Seger. Ooh, it's a good one. Although you want to talk about problematic. Are you familiar with Bob Seger at all, Homer?
I am. I don't know all the problematic. I can easily see someone liking him.
You ever heard of Main Street?
You keep asking me these things. I just want to let people know I'm not making up my stupidity. For example, I didn't know Toby Keith was dead. Okay, so I didn't want to jump on that. I hope it wasn't.
We could do that game with Homer.
I wanted to do Name That Song. Because I would miss every one, but they would claim I was cheating on purpose. You can't do a contest where you are so horrible.
Bob Marley and Tom Petty rounds out Rex in the 262's top 3. Get us your 3 artists. That's what we've been asking you this morning. It was not in honor of Coldplay, although it could have been after that video was circulating yesterday of the folks at the Coldplay concert who got busted for their relationship. It was because we were at dinner yesterday or at lunch yesterday, and there was a card that said, name your 3 artists. 3 artists for the rest of your life. Too many great ones to nail down, says Buzzy from Beloit, but here are 3 no one will send in. Morrissey, the Smiths, and the Talking Heads. And then he puts In Excess. Again, 3. This concept is evading a few people out there. You only get 3, guys. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The open road is calling your name. The ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This July, you could burn some major rubber on the custom Harley-Davidson of your dreams in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. I saw on Potawatomi's social, guys, they gave away a Harley-Davidson over the last week or so. I saw the young lady who won it. Congratulations to her. Play with your rewards card. Thursday drawings for extra cash. Fire Up Your Fantasy is the name of the game. It is only at Potawatomi. More information available online. Must be 21 years old and a rewards member to play.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. Okay, so what does that mean? It means at Fifth Third, they're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. The great team over there at Fifth Third Bank, I've gotten to know them, and they certainly have those strong community connections here in Milwaukee. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Ready to escape to a resort that has it all? The Island Resort and Casino is your total thrill getaway, where championship golf, a luxury spa, world-class gaming, and epic entertainment come together. Tee it up at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Unwind at the Drift Spa. Dine, play, win, repeat. Go all in on an unforgettable getaway. Book your total experience today at islandresortandcasino.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO-certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Come on, guys. Let's think about this. Could you do 50 straight days of burgers?
That was very condescending. I just
No,
want to be clear
that's not.
Let's put our heads together.
Again, I have children. I know condescending when I hear it.
Come on,
on 94.5 ESPN.
I've told you about my friends over at BetterHelp. This is an ad for BetterHelp. Because, guys, if you find yourself struggling at any point, you need to know that there is help, that there are options. You do not need to go at it alone, and that's where BetterHelp comes in. Okay, maybe you're thinking, I'm overwhelmed by the insurance situation. I don't want my workplace to know that I am looking for help in this way. BetterHelp can help. It's convenient. You join a session with a click of a button with a therapist. It fits into your busy life. You can switch therapists at any time. And here's what you need to know. It has a 4.9 out of 5 rating on the App Store, and that's more than 7 million client reviews, okay? So this has worked for a lot of people, and it can work for you as well. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
I had to move. Really had to move. That's why, if you please.
Homer in with me. Having a little chit chat here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. All right, Homer, what do you got planned for the weekend?
Nothing.
Nothing at all? Sit
I
and
think
relax?
I'm playing golf and something on Sunday. No, I don't. I mean, I'm 70. You know.
Relax.
Kids, no. I do something for the grandchild or granddaughter, whatever. But no, I don't have.
Yeah, put the Brewers game on.
Yeah, I'll get there. Yeah, I don't. I have something this morning, and that I have a show for an hour, and after that, we'll take it as it rolls.
All right.
Wait
fair
till
enough.
you get to be 70. I won't be here for you to respond to that, but
I'll let you know.
you can't remember it anyway.
Jason from Greenfield giving us his top 3 acts that he could listen to for the rest of his days. John Williams, Stone Temple Pilots, and this one I have no idea how to pronounce. Joshy, KRUANGBIN. Crew.
I believe that's like an EDM.
Crewing bin? Krang
Back
bin?
to what are
I have
you
no
doing this weekend?
I have no idea. Counting Crows is my 3rd act, by the way. 3rd album, 3rd artist, 3rd band, Counting Crows. Again, nostalgia. I was like 14 when I first heard Counting Crows. Love them to this day. All right, Wilde and Tausch is next, guys. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will be back with you on Monday.
Southbound on 43 still looking pretty good. Not seeing too many delays.